Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday Night Live. Here I am going solo today, just me, which is always dangerous with me in lives. I don't think people appreciate how much elbowing and kicking of my feet happen on behind the scenes when Patty knows I'm about to say something crazy. So here I am, unsupervised, unfettered. I even have different colored lights on. Maybe I'll even change. We'll do some experiments with you guys. Let's see. Maybe get some red. What do you guys think about red? Do you guys like the red better, or do you guys like the green? The green is kind of like, I don't know. I'm not really. I mean, I guess it kind of matches my Yoda hat, which is kind of cool. Or I'm sorry, it's not Yoda. It's the child, aka Grogu. But we all know it's Baby Yoda. It's going to be Baby Yoda forever. So, how are you guys doing out there? I think I'm going to go with the green. Come on. I decided not to work. Yeah. All right, green. I don't know. I'll use it. I'll use it for a little while. Oh, look who decided to show up in comment land. I like the white lights. Well, that'd be nice if you were here, but since you're not, they're going to be whatever color I want. Whatever color I want. Whatever color I want. Yeah. It's cray cray. She likes the white light. Did she say it again? I just saw it like jump again. I don't know. Well, it's the lights. It's whatever color I choose for the lights to be. My stream, my choice. So here we are. It's game time. It's game time. What kind of game is going on? Who's even controlling this? Who's behind the scenes? It's like, it's crazy. I don't even know. I'm not touching anything, guys. And things are happening. What's one song that instantly boosts your mood? Maybe Big Butts. I mean, Big Bibles. I like big Bibles that cannot lie. No. Guys, I was a Bible nerd before it was cool. It's definitely cool. It's cool to be. So what's one song that instantly boosts my mood? I guess it's not that song. I don't know. To me it depends on the mood, what's going on in my life. I like all different types of music, even country, believe it or not. And it depends on like what's going on. I can go anywhere from Wu-Tang to Bob Marley to U2 to the Foo Fighters to Black Sabbath, to some Taylor Swift. I mean, not really Taylor Swift. I like unique bands like the Fat Rat. That's how we found them here. We use them for the stuff that we do, because they're not only amazing musicians. I feel like they're deeply spiritual in their lyrics, and they also, everything they do is free. So they just have like their YouTube channel, and their other media, their other socials, and everything that they do, they produce it, and you can use it, and it's, you can just use it in whatever you want. There's no copyright. You don't have to worry about lawyers getting involved. They own all their own stuff. They're kind of unique that way. Yeah. And Patty's saying cool. I don't know what that's about. I'm assuming she's calling me cool. Because I know secretly she thinks that I'm very cool. Always. I'm gonna get that up so everyone can see that she thinks that I'm super cool. It's not something that she always likes to admit, but I am definitely super cool. I feel like I'm kind of one of Patty's inspirations in life. One day, I was doodling and she was like, "Oh, that's really cool. What do you call it?" And I was like, "Oh, I call this the journer, whatever." And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna steal that." So she created her own journal plus planner. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine with her getting all the credit. So is your healing journey, if your healing journey was a movie, what would the title be? I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what the title of my movie would be. These seem like random questions just generated from the internet. So I don't know. Uh, Title it. Oh Jesus! Even when she's not here, guys, she bullies me. Um, the title is going to be no title. Done. Mic drop. The title of my movie is Untitledable. No title. No subtitles. Maybe it would be like Jimmy the Barbarian or Jimmy the Librarian, or Jimmy in Jimmy in the Magic Kingdom. Yeah, because I live in Disney. Well, not really Disney. I live, I live in Orlando, the home of the mouse, and yeah, yeah. So, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received? Always listen to your wife because she's smarter than you. Um, maybe. I don't know. I'm usually the one who gives advice more than receiving it. So I don't know. I don't know. There you go. Yeah, there you go. And she's responding once again to the fact that she here publicly, proclaim that she thinks I'm super cool. So that's nice. That's it. I receive that. I receive that, Patty, wherever you are out there in the interwebs, someplace helping me do this. I appreciate how much you really acknowledge the fact that I'm super cool. So yeah, so super cool, like, so advice. I mean, there's lots of different advice. I feel like advice is overrated. I feel like you have to make your own decision. I think I've learned more and more in my life that you kind of just gotta, if you feel like it's the right thing to do, you kind of gotta just do it and stop worrying about what other people are going to think of it or what other people would do in your situation. Um, because even if they have valuable stuff to say and contribute, you really just need to go out there and kind of do it on your own. And Patty here still thinks I'm super cool. So I love that. I love that she thinks her husband is super cool. Comment if you also have a husband and you think that they're super cool, or if you have a wife or partner or or a goldfish or a dog or a cat and you think they're super cool, they're kind of your partners in life and all that stuff. If you could have dinner with any fictional character, who would it be and why? I don't know. Maybe Uranus. Oh, it has to be fictional. Sorry. Any fictional character, who would it be and why? Has to be a fictional character, eh? Probably Gandalf. I mean, Gandalf, or maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi. Uh, Maybe Anakin Skywalker. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So if you have a fictional character that you would have dinner with, who would it be and why? I feel like I know where these questions come from. We used to have this little deck of cards with all these questions. I wonder if they're coming from there, wherever Patricia Kelly Zito is, or whoever's controlling my background stuff. You never know who it is. You never know who it is. So, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon as a kid? I don't think I ever woke up early enough for Saturday morning cartoons. I think I'm the wrong child for that. But I do remember watching lots of cartoons during the week. My favorites were DuckTales. Woo! Oh, she changed it. Wow. Or someone changed it. What was your favorite Saturday afternoon cartoon as a kid? There was DuckTales, there was Thundercats, there was He-Man, Masters of the Universe, there was G.I. Joe. I did like G.I. Joe. I think a lot of years for Christmas, all I wanted to be was either a G.I. Joe soldier or a ninja. And that's kind of all I was. There was also things too, like Gummy Bears was a cartoon. It was definitely made for probably to sell the candy Gummy Bears. but I don't really remember much about it except the song. Went something like gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. We are the gummy bears. And they were like a family and lived in a tree. And they had like this special juice that they would drink, and it would make them like bounce around like they were crazy. So yeah, well, it wasn't Saturday afternoon. It was during the week. I feel like my Saturdays were pretty much, as far back as I can remember, were a working day for me, where I would go to the Taekwondo school. We didn't even have a school back then. It was in the basement of the Broadway YMCA. If you go to Staten Island, or if you're familiar with Staten Island, New York, there's a beautiful building there now, which is the Broadway YMCA with its gym and its pool and all that fun stuff. But way back in the day, the Broadway YMCA was the brick building that's right next door, and that's kind of all that was there. And I feel like it was like 2 or 3 levels down. There was this basement area with like cracked tiles and steaming pipes, and like there were these big cement columns, and it was a big space. There was also a lot of gymnastics equipment down there too, and pads. I guess they also ran gymnastic classes back in the day. And there was my Taekwondo school that I went to, and there was Master Joe, and that's where I was pretty much all day, from early in the morning to like basically at some point in the afternoon. And then I would go with all my other martial art friends, and we would go do stuff, or I would just go home. So if you had to live in one season, fall, just fall. If you had to live in one season forever, summer, fall, winter, or spring, I feel like it should be winter, spring, summer, or fall. So maybe if you could change that order, that would be better for me. But I feel like my favorite season is fall. It's just the best time of year. I'm really loving Florida's winter. I kind of said that like Staten Island and Guido. I really love Florida's winter, because the winter here in Florida kind of feels like fall. So it's just great. It's like the perfect weather most days. Um, and so yeah, especially in the morning and at night. So yeah, excuse me. Fall is easily the best season. If I could go to a place where it was just fall all year round, I would go there, and I would live there, and I would never come back. And if it wasn't in the United States, I would renounce my citizenship, and I would become something else. So if you guys know, if you had to bring back one discontinued snack or drink, what would it be? I don't think there are any discontinued snacks or drinks that I would bring back. Although there was a Chinese restaurant right outside the Broadway YMCA that I thought it was like the best Chinese food I've ever had in my life. And I still dream about that Chinese food sometimes. It was just like the perfect amount of like salty. It was just like really good food. And it was closed down quite publicly because supposedly they were serving cats and pigeons. But who knows? Who knows? People are people, and I don't necessarily remember all of these. Do you mean the other YMCA? The YMCA? No, at Broadway in Staten Island, New York. Yeah, that's what I mean. Cool. Yeah, I know, Patty. It's getting a little much there. Just I know you think I'm super cool and everything, but like you don't need to keep. You don't want to gas me up too much. You don't want to call me cool all the time. Yes, the Broadway YMCA. So yeah, it was like right across the street. I think there's like a pizzeria there now or something like that. But yeah, it was, and because I was like the youngest of the higher belts that were helping out, it was my job to get everyone's order at a certain point. I don't know why they picked, like it almost seems like I was like the most least qualified for that job to get everything right. Like like I had a little like notepad, and I had to write down everyone's order, and I don't know why we didn't call it in. I guess there was no cell phones back then. Yeah, there were no cell phones, so I had to walk over and like give this whole order and to make sure everyone got it right. Uh, oh no, you're right. The South Shore. It's the South Shore YMCA. South Shore YMCA. Yes. Yes. Yep. That's it. Sorry. I don't know why I'm calling it Broadway. It was the South Shore. It was the South Shore YMCA. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So if you had to give yourself a fun made up job title, what would it be? Probably the Rizzler, because I have lots of Riz, especially with my wife. So I'd call myself maybe the Rizzler or the Bible Rizzler or something like that. The B Riz, I would maybe B Riz. Yeah, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. You know it's true. You know it's true. Stop arguing with yourself. Stop arguing with yourself over there. Is it no or is it yes? What's going on there, Patty? What is going on with her today? It's like, where is she even? She's not reporting here for work. I should think about giving her a pay cut or something like that. Yeah, I think there was another question. What's your go-to comfort movie or TV show? Um, Again, I feel like those always change. It kind of depends on like whatever I'm going through, or whatever's going on around me. Gives me the different feels, gives me the different things. I'm not really like a favorite person kind of guy. I kind of like I have a great appreciation for a lot of things. Um, that I consume or do. I mean, there's Star Trek. Every now and then I'll do a rewatch. I'll do a rewatch of like the Star Trek series from my youth. None of the new stuff. Most of the new stuff is pretty bad. That they've put out. The stories are just not great stories anymore. It seems like very sensational. But I've been told I should give like Star Trek Discovery a second shot, even though I think I did stick through it for like it was 2 or 3 seasons, and then I kind of just got because the cool thing about the way Star Trek used to be, like when I was a kid, and I'm not even talking about the original series, I'm talking about like the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager, is that you almost felt like you could live in this world. Like there'd be episodes where I feel like people were just like going to work and then some interesting engineering problem would happen and they'd have to solve it. Or like, it was the stakes were never like really that high for most of the episodes. There were episodes where the stakes were super, super high, but a lot of it was just like, hey, this is like, I think they said it was a 21st century or something like that. So Star Trek is supposed to be supposedly happening soon. Um, well, one of my old friends at the Broadway YMCA when I worked there, not the South Shore YMCA where I went as a kid, um, would always come in and tell us like random like Star Trek dates as they passed. He'd be like, "Hey, today's first contact day. Today's the day that we're supposed to meet the Vulcans and stuff like that." So shout out to Spencer if you're out there somewhere. Um, yeah, so I really don't have like a favorite thing. I love Star Wars. I love Lord of the Rings. Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button for life? Um, Rewind button. Um, Probably a rewind button. I feel like, I know a lot of people like to be like hashtag no regrets. But for me, I feel like I've regretted a thing or two here. Would love to be able to go back and do things differently. So yeah, that's the new South Shore, not Broadway, YMCA. And then yeah, it's a beautiful building, isn't it? It's like really, it's almost like futuristic. But if you go to the Google Street View, the building is still there, but now it's like the radiology building or something like that. And they don't let you into the basement anymore. Yeah, I think I remember as a kid there's supposedly being a pool in that building, but I don't like remember actually ever seeing it. I don't know if there was an actual pool, but anyway, yep, yeah, I know Patty, super cool. That's the Broadway Y. That's the Broadway Y. That's where I worked as the youth and family director. And I worked as an after school program director. And I was a counselor too. Not a counselor. I was a specialist. I guess that means I'm super special. What's a childhood game or activity you wish you could do as an adult with no judgment? I don't know. I don't know. No judgment. Who would judge me for the things I did as a kid? I mean, I used to pretend I was president of the world. I used to like play like Disney cassettes and pretend I was singing to it and do like flips and dancing and stuff in my living room. I used to make forts out of blankets. I mean, I feel like you can still do that stuff as an adult. You can still build uh forts and stuff. Yeah, president of the world. That was fun. That was fun. I had like a phone I would smash down because I'd be like arguing with world leaders about the price of gasoline or something because that's what you do when you're a kid, right? Yeah, but like when I learned as I grew up that being president just meant being president of one country, I was like, Nah, nah, I'm good. If I can't have it all, I don't want to be in politics." So here we are. Here we are. So, what's the weirdest food combination you actually love? I like beef jerky and clementines, but I don't think that's weird. That's amazing. Um, I like eating peanut butter right out of a jar. Um, I like a box of Entenmann's cookies and just a quart of milk. Oh man, the good old days. I wish I had the stomach that I used to have. All right. Weirdest food combination, you know, that you actually love. I wonder what Patty's food combination that that she would actually love. What's a fashion trend you regret participating in? Bonus if you have picks. Um, I mean, probably the early 2000s were like a lot of like baggy jeans and like oversized sweaters that like look like they were made at like some mission down in like New Mexico or something. Um, and like bandanas. There's got to definitely be pictures of me out there somewhere walking around with my pants around my ankles and a bandana on my head. Not quite around my ankles, but like way 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 down, showing some boxer shorts there. Popcorn and dark chocolate. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like popcorn and dark chocolate. I don't think that's I don't think anyone will laugh at you for that. Yeah, that's cool. It's very cool. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, here we are, Wednesday Night Live. It's been kinda, like, dead the last few times we did this. I don't think I'm gonna do these at these times, or maybe I'm gonna change the day. I don't know. I don't know. But, for those of you who have been following along, we are in the middle of our winter gospel series. Um, I originally thought I was going to do the entire Gospel of Luke, but it looks more like it's going to be just like the first four chapters. And then we're going to skip ahead. We're going to do the Sermon on the Mount. I'm sorry, the Sermon on the Plain. We're going to possibly do the parables of the kingdom. And we're going to do the Last Supper. And then we'll do one episode, kind of like tying all that together. And then after that, in the spring, we'll get into the book of Acts. And that'll close out our winter and spring. And then we'll decide if this is something that we're going to keep doing in the summer. We have different ideas. We have different things that we'd want to do. But we're looking to, definitely get some more community feedback. We know people have been watching the episodes either on the YouTube or on Spotify and even like the iTunes and stuff like that. So we know people are there. We don't necessarily know who they all are. So we would love to get more of that to kind of get some, okay, what's working well for everyone, what's not working well, what do we want to see different, and all that fun stuff. And we want to do more of that community building that we talk so much about. So that would take actually getting out there and talking to the people. So that is kind of what we've been doing. Coming up to the 7:30 mark here. I don't see anyone running to StreamYard to jump in here with us today. Being that I am unsupervised. So yeah, that's that. That's what we've been doing. That's what we're doing. Anybody want to see the cool slides we've been doing? Do I see any likes or comments? Anything from anyone? Let's see. Oh, Patty said cool. So she wants to see it. Cool, cool, cool. So I'm going to show it to you guys the way I see it. Dun, dun, dun. And I was have to figure out how to do it. Got a lot of things going on here. Oh, I thought I was inside, but I'm not inside.
Talk about YouTube.
So we have YouTube. The cool thing about YouTube is that as we're coming out with these podcasts, and initially from the first time we did this, we had more people who were consuming this in podcast form. So the YouTube was kind of something like, hey, it'd be really fun to do. But the cool thing about YouTube is that we're getting to put them up there in nice order. So we're doing the Winter Gospel series, and you can go there, and it's in some ways it's easier to consume. You have the nice little playlist that we put it up there, and it's been fun. Again, we're getting some watch and views there too, more than I actually thought we would in the YouTube space. So that's been really fun. What'd I do? Oh, Patty is still saying cool. So that's the YouTube. That's been fun. And here we go. Enter studio. So yeah, so we have the YouTube, we have the Spotify, and again, looking for just more people just to talk to and to communicate with, and kind of just get it all out there. So it's been fun. I've definitely been enjoying myself creating the content. But the real important thing for me is really just getting back to a community of people that really want to do this together. That want to look at the scriptures together, want to do life together, just want to talk about all of this fun stuff. So yeah, it's something that, if you guys want, if you guys are into that, we're looking for you. We're looking for you all. So this is share screen. Sorry. Don't know how to multitask. All right, cool. So this is kind of the table of contents that we've been for everything that I'm doing. Patty loves my table of contents. She thinks they're super cool. Excuse me, my dog just made a strange sound at me. I think she's telling me to wrap this up soon. So this is kind of like everything we've done thus far. We're well past the introduction material. Gotcha. So we're well past the introductory material, and we finally got into Jesus' early life. I believe the episode that just dropped is episode 7. Mary visits Elizabeth and the temple. So that was a good one. That was a fun one to do. And then we got episode 8 coming out, the 2 birth narratives, which was also a great episode to film. We have Jesus visiting the temple and John the Baptist's ministry, with the genealogy and testing. So we got a lot of cool stuff, for you guys to look through. We got our overall structure of Luke Acts, which was fun. That was kind of like our first episode. We kind of sketched out, why do we say Luke Acts? Why don't we just say, oh, we're doing Luke and that's it? Why is it so important to consider Luke Acts as a whole? We talked about who wrote Luke Acts, that was a fun episode to do. Could it be Paul? Probably not Paul. But we have some clues from Paul's letter. We talked about the perspectives from the church fathers. We had this really cool chart from some biblical scholar. I forget his name, but he posted it on the app formerly known as Twitter or X. And so that was a good one. We talked about some of their perspectives. We talked about possible sources for Luke Acts. There's Luke working hard in his study, getting all this stuff out. So we talked about the synoptic problem. We talked about all these different sources that Luke and kind of by extension the rest of the writers of the New Testament kind of had in front of them that we don't usually think about, like the Apocrypha and the Pseudepigrapha. We talked a little bit about, and this is kind of the overall structure of Luke. So we got into that as we got into Luke, and then we've been going through at a pretty good clip, and we've been looking at stuff, and we've been talking about the conversations that Luke is having with the Tanakh. That's kind of what Luke is what Luke values most, is having those conversations with the Tanakh, the Torah, the prophets, and the writings. So we looked at all of that, which was fun, and yeah. And so we're chugging along here. We're chugging along good. So if you guys would like to join us, that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. So it seems a little quiet tonight. I think I might wrap this up. I have some stuff I need to do, and the camera's not on, but that's okay. Why wouldn't the camera be on? All right, guys, but I'm gonna call here, having some difficulties. But yeah, it's been fun. I hope to see you guys soon. Please reach out. Please give us a comment, like, or share. Please reach out. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on the Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. Reach out if you'd like to have a conversation and like to do some of this stuff together. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon.